Hello, this is Hongjun Yoon, and today I'm going to talk about the auto indication. This Excel file gives us an estimate idea on how we calculate an overall rate level indication using the loss ratio approach. Before we proceed to look at the details in each spreadsheet, I want to point out a few things. First, the information about premium exposure and paid losses are given from the Wicked Good Insurance Company. I used the numbers that were available from this company as an example for the property damage liability coverage of personal auto insurance in state XX. All policies are semi-annual, and the proposed effective date for the revised rates is January 1st, 2017. Rates are expected to be in effect for 1 year. However, notice that the method of calculation may apply to general automobile insurance products if the right method of loss ratio approach is used. So basically, you may put your company's historical data into this Excel file and may figure out the selected rate change by using the same method that we do here. For instance, you can put the values of the earned premiums in these selected values and then get the corresponding selected rate change. Second, the numbers have been color-coded in the documents. Blue fonts represent inputs. Red fonts represent selections, and black font is used for numbers that are calculated or referenced from another exhibit. Notice that for red font, I made my personal justification on my own assumptions from actuarial judgment. There is a disclaimer that different actuaries may justify different assumptions. Third, for the rounding procedures, it is common for companies to designate a rounding procedure after each step. In our example, Wicked Good Insurance Company rounds to the penny after each step and to the whole dollar at the final step. At last, using statistical methods such as exponential regression also allows for the review of statistical diagnostics. The most commonly used diagnostic is R-squared, which is a measure of the reduction of total variance about the mean that is explained by the model. But when we analyze the trend at the end, right here, we use the growth function instead of the trend function. I have made several attempts to generate the trend graphs and exponential trends by different points and figured out that the trend is linear when we use the trend function instead of the growth function. So, besides these few remarks, all of the calculations are straightforward, and the whole file rehashes what we have learned in insurance rate making. First, let's look at the LR indication. LR indication summarizes the calculation of the overall indicated premium change using the loss ratio method on 5 accident years evaluated as of March 31st, 2016. We have earned premiums, current level factor, and premium trend factors from the next 10 spreadsheets. All the derivation of calculation methods is explicitly indicated at the bottom. For our selected project loss and loss adjustment expense ratio, we will allocate more weight on recent loss ratio. At last, we'll know our selected rate change as negative 2.6.2%, which came from the credibility weighted indicated rate change, as this value derives from the indicated rate change credibility trended present rates indication. For credibility, trended present rates indication is calculated using the residual age indication, net trend, and trend period. The credibility derives the credibility measure and complement of credibility to be applied to the experience period indicated rate change using the classical credibility approach and the square root rule. For the current rate level, it details the calculation of the current rate level factors using the parallelogram method. Our cumulative product of rate level index gives us the most recent rate level index, which will lead us to find the factors. Okay, so for the premium trend, it derives premium trend factors using the two-step trending approach. We have written premiums and exposures from February 2010 to April 2015. We get the annual trend using the yearly approach. Exponential trend is used with different years. Here I used the growth function and got the different trends with the different years. Although there are 20 point fit for the trend data, I had the 21st one in order to get the 4-point trend right here. For our selection, I used the measure of centeredness in between 12-point and 8-point since there are 6 of them. I did the mean approach for the projected premium trend. The graph is generated as well. It shows how trend fits are linear to the actual fit and to each other. Using the selected projected premium trend, we get the total trend factor for the premium, which we used in the first spreadsheet. Again, all the calculation details are indicated at the bottom. Loss development displays the selection of the reported loss and ALAE development factors using the chain ladder method. So for the selected age to age, we assume that we'll get rid of the high and low outliers right here. Loss trend supports the selection of the loss trend factors based on the pattern of historical changes in frequency, severity, and the pure premium. As we did for the premium trend, we do the same trend analysis on the frequency, severity, and pure premium with the growth function. For the current selections of the frequency and severity, we assume to use the mean approach between 12-point and the 8-point. For the projected ones though, I used the average from 16 point to 6 point for frequency and got rid of the minimum outlier for the severity. Since I noticed the severity trend is going up from 0% to 3.3% right here, I decided to follow that trend. For the pure premium, I used the measure of the centeredness for the current selection, but then added frequency and severity for the projected selection. Frequency trend graph is beautifully conducted, and the severity trend, and the pure premium trend. All the justifications here will be and have made in the previous sheet of loss trend 1. Using the selected projected trend, we get the loss trend factor along with the current factor cost trend from 2011 to 2015. The unallocated loss adjustment expenses ratios are calculated by countrywide allocated LAE and unallocated LAE. For our selected ratio, we took the average of total 3-year ratios. Expense derives the fixed and variable expense provisions using the premium-based projection method. So here, we assume 3-year average as our selected expenses. The expenses are categorized into 2, fixed and variable. For example, it is obvious that licenses and fees are fixed expense while commissions and brokerage are varied. Okay? Thanks for your time, and I hope this work may help you with the trend selections and ultimately the auto indication using the loss ratio approach.